As the demand of data science is increasing day by day in the industry, since data is everywhere in each and every corner of the world, it is becoming increasingly difficult to find out the perfect resources, the perfect way to start off data science, to find out where you can actually land up. So today is a very interesting podcast. I recently talked about Alma Better, which is a pay after placement model to teach you top technologies like data science, blockchain, etc. And today we have Soumya Chen, who was the first cohort student of Alma Better. From being somebody who did not want to code at all to being placed within 6 months without, of course, paying anything using the pay after placement program of Alma Better, she landed up into one of the best jobs of data science in a very handsome role. Let's start off the podcast with her, and I am very, very excited for this. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more such podcasts. Let's get started. All right, so let's get started with the interview, guys. And I am really excited for this because I also personally like this field a lot. And I want to dive deeper into this because being a third year student, I see a lot of demand coming in for the roles of data science. And of course, let's hear it from Soumya, who has been into this field for quite some time now. And let's also get to know how she really came into this field. But first of all, Soumya, hello, how are you doing? Can you help our viewers with a background of yourself? A little bit about yourself so that we can start relating to your story.
Sure. Hi, Noor. So I would begin it like this. I belong to a small town from Chhattisgarh. I've named Korba. I have completed my elementary education from there. Later on, I moved to Kota for JEE coaching, like many others. Talking about my educational background, nothing interesting though. Yet another engineer I am. The interesting part started when I started working. So just after my college, I got placed in a telecom company. It was a giant. And I became the part of a race. And then that is where I realized that I was not a good fit over there. I wanted something wherein I could see the results of my work, what was being done. So that is where I joined Alma Better, and the story changed a bit. So currently I stay in Gurgaon with my family, with my husband and my mother.
Oh, wow. I'm from Gurgaon too, actually. Even though right now I'm in Bombay.
Oh, okay. That's where your college is. Yeah. Okay. So I work as a consultant over here in this company.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm here in front of you.
Okay, awesome. I think that's exciting. And I relate a lot because firstly, I just came from Kota yesterday. So there's Kota in your story. I live in Gurgaon. My family's in Gurgaon too. So it's already becoming very relatable. Okay, so Soumya, you said that you started off in a telecom giant, right? But that role wasn't a data scientist role, or data science wasn't really what you were doing there. So, Soumya, what really motivated you? When did you come to know about this field? How did you get to know? Was it somebody around you who was working in this field, or was it the internet, or was it perhaps an advertisement that showed you how great this field was? So, what motivated you to join this field?
Basically, I would say it was the COVID era. It was the lockdown, which motivated me. So earlier, we all were going to our offices and didn't actually realize that what were we into. So as there was a lockdown and we were stuck at homes, I had time to look into things, to look into other domains as well. So as just like many others, I was scared of coding. I started Googling what are the careers where I do not have to code. So, or code less, I would say. But then very few careers where you get money as well as you don't have to code. So ultimately, I saw that there has to be some coding, but I saw some advertisements from Alma Better and did talk to the CEO of Alma Better directly because I was from the first batch. So we were able to communicate with the founders directly. So that is when he assured me that the way they will be teaching me to code or any other thing will be not the usual way I've ever learned. So that is when that intrigued me. What's new in this? And the model they were in. Apart from that, talking about the data science, what happens is I've always been intrigued to see what my work is making an impact. So I want to see what impact does it make, or how does it contribute into the business. So data science is something where I can see the impact. I can actually see what steps are being taken when I am analyzing some data.
Correct.
So that is one part which totally motivated me to go into data science.
Perfect. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I am actually also doing a minor degree in data science here at IIT Bombay. But I think what we've started learning at least is very preliminary. So I was just very interested in knowing like what are the opportunities available out there in this field today, and like why should students start exploring this field? For example, me, why should I go and explore opportunities? What kind of things are open for me at this point of time in the world in data science?
So basically, there are many reasons one can go into data science field. So first of all, there are so many employment opportunities in this. There are so many roles which are related to data science. So not exactly, I would name them data science. It starts with analysis, not directly digging into data science, but it starts with analyzing the data. So there are so many employment opportunities in this area. It has a great earning potential from here. A person, the packages these days are very handsome these days for in the data science career. Apart from that, one thing which I like about data science, you can start at any time. So it's data, and you can start anytime, right from the college, or even if you have 10 years experience into the industry, still you have scope to start. And I believe it's a very wholesome course. It has technical skills to be polished. It has your business skills. It has your communication skills. So it always lets you do something wholesome where you can grow as a person as well. You learn something every day. Now talking about the opportunities. So data science is everywhere. Like it's everywhere. In healthcare, you talk about agriculture. You talk in government sector, you talk in private sector, it's everywhere. So in data science, ample amount of opportunities right there. So yeah, it's one of the career which one should consider.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense, Soumya. Can you actually help me in understanding whether somebody from, let's say, a background like the non-coding engineering, for example, let's say mechanical engineering for me, does it really matter where I'm coming from, where my background is, or is data science like very open and anybody can come up and learn it?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of this field. Any person from any background can fit into it. And data science, because data science is everywhere, like you're talking about, you come from mechanical. So even in automobile sector, there is so much data science. There's so much of analysis. So that's, I would say that's an additional, it's the cherry on the cake. You know the domain, you have the domain knowledge as well as the data knowledge. So it doesn't matter much that you are into coding domain or not. But then it's not too much hardcore coding. It's the basic analytical part. It's the basic data wrangling one should know. If I'm talking about the entry level. So as one enters into the industry, eventually they'll evolve, they'll learn. And they'll keep going. But then just to enter into this field, I don't think there is some coding background required.
Yes, I think that's a wonderful thought, Soumya, that there's literally no entry barrier to this field. And it's actually an amalgamation of both technology and non-technology together. The coding and the non-coding tech part comes together. I think that's the beauty of data science, actually. I agree to that. All right, so Soumya, again, now one question that a lot of people will face and will ask is, what are the resources that we can use? Of course, like you talked about Alma Better, but in today's age, especially like most of the audience who will be watching this will be just college students who've just stepped into their first year, second year, third year, max to max that. And they're looking for resources all the time. They're looking for good teachers, good people to teach them stuff, hands-on skills. So I believe like it's very difficult to find out what is really genuine, what is not. So like, did you face this paucity of resources at any point?
Yes, even before Alma Better, even I started right from YouTube. There were many teachers out there, but then you are the one who is going to decide whose teaching style fits you. So obviously there's nothing like anybody is not going to teach you the right thing, or everybody is good, but it's just you who has to decide what is good for you and what is the way you have to learn and what pace you have to learn. So this is something which even I did by hit and trial method. I tried many teachers, and then there were few and there were few topics which I learned from some teachers. There were other topics which I learned from others. So learning different things from different teachers, and this is what I did personally. And there was not everything I learned from videos. There is a lot of content. There are many blogs written. So yeah, learning from there. Apart from that, trying some hands-on projects as well. So that helped me a lot. That is where I could apply my knowledge. Yeah, so there are a lot of resources available online. You are the one who has to decide what's good for you.
Perfect. Okay. That sounds interesting, Soumya. So let's get to the part where you found out about Alma Better, because when I learned about it, something called the Pay After Placement program, that was the first time I heard it, and I think that was a very unique concept for me. How was it like for you? Like, how did you end up exploring it, and how long was this course essentially? What was basically your Alma Better story?
Yeah. So basically, even I was amazed by their concept, pay after placement. Many of us face this issue that we have to pay the upfront cost, and then we are going to learn. How do we, if a person is a college student, one has to pay the college fee and then paying a fee of course. And for me also, I was working. I just started earning. So for me, even that was a very good concept, and that was the first catchy thing about Alma Better. And rest all came as complimentary. And then yeah, so I came to know about it through online, like I would say Instagram, basically their advertisements on Instagram. So then I reached out to them. I gave a preliminary test, and then I passed it, and then I could contact directly to the founders. So I did talk to them. I did understand, because even I belong from a totally different industry, non-coding background. They assured me that I'm not going to face this problem. And obviously it's a pay after placement program. So I went for it. And then that is when I saw what actually learning something means. So it was very different from whatever we have all learned from our colleges. It was obviously not talking about the quantity of learning, it's the quality which mattered at Alma Better. So it's the quality of content which I consumed there, and that was life-changing for me. Totally. It totally made a totally different career path for me.
Awesome. So like, could you walk us through, let's say, one or two things that you really liked about this course? Like you said, pay after placement was a unique concept, but I actually learned about many more features there as well. For example, there's something called the data science lab that just piqued my curiosity as to what is it like. Does it really help? Is it helping you now? So what's that about?
Yeah, so basically data science lab, it's a designated data science system where you can apply your knowledge directly. So that is where we actually learn what is a problem solving capacity of a person. You actually deal with real life problems, real life complexities, and you are able to solve it. That is something which is very much required in today's era. One who is able to solve problems is going to always excel, and this is what Alma Better got, and basically that is what is in data science lab. So that is where you can apply your knowledge. That is very important. After theory, what comes is practical, and that is what was done, the data science labs. Apart from that, one or two more features I would like to add in, which Alma Beta had.
Sure.
So after every live class, we used to go for quizzes.
Okay.
And we were all ranked, and then the founders used to congratulate those who won. So that is something so motivating.
Right.
Yeah, that's very motivating for a person.
Hmm.
When in the end of the class, that's first of all, it's very competitive. So it has time limit, and the questions are related to the live class which we have gone through. So it's basically a test of our how much attentive we were throughout the class. So that is a very good feature, I would. And apart from that, the assignments which they gave, they were time bound assignments which we had to finish within certain time boundary. That totally added up into our course and into our learning. And yeah, apart from that, content and everything, you are also aware, it's too good. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that makes again a lot of sense, Soumya, and that's something actually which the users, the viewers which are seeing this video will find interesting, because that's coming from you, who has been like the first cohort of Alma Beta. And if it was that good back then of course it's just getting better and better.
Yeah, it's just growing every day.
So I'm just curious, Soumya, how long was this course typically? Is there a specific time bound? How long after it were you placed in their so-called pay after placement program? So the placement, how much later does that happen?
Yeah. So if I talk, it's basically 8 months long program.
Okay.
I finished it in 6 months with the hands-on project, and I was placed within that duration.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, it also depends on a person how early or how much we are willing to complete it. So as I was working already, so it was very important for me to finish it early, because I was having double pressure of classes and the course and from my work. Yeah. So I finished it within 6 months, and then I was placed through Alma Beta.
Awesome. That's wonderful, Soumya. I think that's been quite a story, and that's been your journey basically in Alma Beta.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just try to find out how the industry works, basically the data science industry works. So whatever you learned in the course, or whatever we basically learn in data science, how useful is it in the industry in your day-to-day job? Does it come handy, or is it like just the learning aspect which very rarely is used?
No, it has completely come handy for me, especially.
Okay.
So as I joined the company, so now I've switched to another company, but the company which I joined right after Alma Beta, it totally everything came handy to me. The Python, the SQL which I learned, the storytelling skill which I developed at Alma Beta. So our mentors always told us that you should be able to tell a story through data. That is something which came handy at Paisabazaar, where I joined right after Alma Beta.
Yep.
And yeah, that was just, and today also, like basically now I've come to another company and I'm into a different role now. But even today, one thing which they had told, the storytelling skill, that comes handy every day, like every day. Even if I tell that for the technical skills, I had to learn some more tools, but then this particular skill always comes handy.
Perfect, Soumya. Okay, I'll ask you to actually give some kind of an advice to people who are watching this. Like I told you the context, there will be students who are just perhaps stepping into college or are in their second year or third year. And a lot of them, of course, want to explore this field because there's a lot of demand in the market for this. And of course, even the packages are handsome, like you said. So what do you think is the best way to start off? What advice do you have for these young children?
Yeah, so my advice would be, once you are able to select the right mentor, you should be following them, and as well follow your heart as well. That is what is important. Apart from that, just stick to the basics. That is going to be very useful in the long run. So stick to the basic. stick to analyzing the data, finding patterns from it, and keep learning. That is what is very important. Learn every day, learn from everybody who comes along your way. So that is going to be helpful. Apart from that, once you get into certain course, try to learn each and every topic in such a way that you are able to implement it practically. That is going to be very useful in the long run. Yeah.
Perfect, Soumya. I think that's a very wonderful advice. Learn from everybody every day. I think that can be applied to any sphere in general and would help anybody grow in life. So I think that would be a great takeaway point for everybody watching this podcast. So finally, let's wrap this up, Soumya, with my last question, and that is, what's next in store for you? What are you looking forward to in life? What are your plans for the future?
Currently, my plan is to keep learning. Even I believe I'm new to this industry and I have to keep learning. And then, eventually I'm looking into entering into some managerial role. That is something professionally. Right. But then my goal is to keep learning and keep exploring different domains, because data science is in every domain. Currently, as I'm in fintech, right. So I even want to explore other spheres and keep learning.
Awesome. That's awesome, Soumya. And I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And thank you so much for chalking out time out of your busy schedule and helping us shape this podcast into what it became. Hopefully the viewers enjoyed watching this. So thank you so much, Soumya, once again.
Thank you very much, Ekmo. It was nice talking to you.
If you also want to build a career in data science, click on the link in the description to sign up for AlmaBetter's full stack data science program. All the best.
I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable.